unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo jamás será vencido. El pueblo jamás será vencido. El pueblo jamás será vencido.
In an ideal world, we wouldn't need to use violence to achieve our goals. Unfortunately, that's believing in nonviolence and treating it like the end-all, be-all of political stratagems is naive. Violence, as regrettable as it is, it's sometimes necessary. I've been reading Marx for almost 10 years now, and I don't really understand it so much until, you know, I look at the conditions here, look at social welfare programs, and see how, like, kind of get an idea of where they came from and how they wouldn't exist if it wasn't for socialism. I think every day here has been a learning experience. I learned something new, either about myself, what I believe in, or I think some of my beliefs might have even changed since I've been here. I'd like to think I've done a little bit in helping change other people's opinion and sort of radicalize them, get them away from the thought that voting your problems away is an answer. If the radical left is going to have any future in American politics, it's going to have to take on Americanized characteristics. There's going to need to be more openness and more debate within the left. I think America's Marxists for too long idolized the Soviet Union, and you know, it was a horrible place. It was repressive. The state terrorized its people, and it was socialist in name only. The creation of the Soviet Union was, I think, it was a wonderful start for the world. Unfortunately, I think the people in charge, people running the Communist Party of Russia, should not have had that much power. I think they should have had a more democratic process, and they should have permitted more free speech, more political dissent than they did.
On behalf of Payam-Fadae-Interview-with-a-Wall, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to do this interview. Please introduce yourself and let us know why you've joined the Occupy Wall Street movement.
I'm Brendan. Came up here from Florida. I think I joined this mostly because I'd like to teach these liberals performance that capitalism isn't broken. It's not in crisis. Capitalism is a crisis itself. I mean, every time capitalism has been reformed throughout history, it's came out stronger, where the bosses have more power and the workers are weaker. I want people to wake up and realize that voting for the Democrats, or voting for any political party for that matter, isn't the solution we need.
In the Communist Manifesto, Karl Marx writes, "The proletarian movement is a self-conscious, independent movement of the immense majority in the interests of the immense majority." As you very well know, the Wall Street occupiers also call themselves a movement of 99%ers, and their lives have been made miserable by the 1%ers. Do you see a correlation between these two movements?
Absolutely. However, I don't think that this movement has quite the class consciousness that Marx had imagined. That would lead to a revolutionary condition, though. I think that we're not at that stage yet. I think there needs to be more of a mass awakening and a bigger paradigm shift in the way people think about what sort of political change is possible and how to bring it about.
Great. What is the relation between the capitalist crisis and this movement?
I think this movement is a direct result of the current financial crisis in this country and around the world. I don't think people would be here if they weren't getting hurt in the wallet or having their homes foreclosed on. So this movement wouldn't exist if it wasn't for the recession that we've been in for the last couple of years.
This movement is widespread all over the U.S. now. What are the social and economical conditions for the formation of this movement?
I think it's the massive unemployment. In this country, we're now almost at 10% unemployment, and the real number is likely much higher than that. Millions of people have had their homes foreclosed on or their jobs shipped overseas. For countless reasons, people are finally fed up with being treated like a commodity, and people are want to be treated like human beings.
3 years ago, we saw the capitalist government use billions of taxpayers' money to rescue the bank industry from deep financial crisis, clearly demonstrating the neoliberalism fallacy in front of everyone's eyes. Now, common slogans we see in this movement is "Don't bail out the banks." What do you think about this slogan and its popularity?
I think it's a great start. I think, however, that people need to look a little bit beyond just the bailout of the banks and of big businesses. That's just one of many issues people have here. There's much bigger things involved in it, though. Just the entire system itself needs to be abolished and done away with, not just the cronyism on Wall Street and in Washington.
Some people have stated that this is not a radical movement because there have been some requests and demands made by the U.S. Congress. What do you think?
I think there's definitely a radical element within this movement, but as a whole, I think it's mostly liberal reformists. I'd like to see it more radicalized. I think the biggest reason I came here was to try to lend my hand in radicalizing these people and helping them wake up the fact that you can't fix something that's wrong to begin with.
In support of this movement, on October 15th, we witnessed so many rallies all over the world. In Italy alone, more than 200,000 people came to the streets. Was this magnitude of support predictable? And what is your analysis of this?
I wouldn't say it was predictable. I did expect and hope that people around the world would stand up in support of this. I can't speak for the purposes and intentions and the feelings of people around the world who stood in solidarity with us. However, I think it's a great start in awakening people worldwide. The problems we face here on Wall Street don't just affect us in America; they're worldwide. Everyone is affected by it. So I'm glad to see the whole world standing up alongside of us.
And organization with this movement. Still, here and there, we hear that some people are trying to portray that the movement has a leading center and is supported by some fractions of the U.S. Democratic Party. What is your opinion about this?
I like the fact that this is a leaderless movement. I think if we had a top-down hierarchical structure, I think it would be dangerous. It would corrupt the entire movement. We would lose our goals. I don't like that politicians have come out in support of this because they're the people that we're fighting against. They're the ones who bailed out the bankers on Wall Street. They're the ones who are working towards maintaining a corrupt, cruel system. So I don't want to see any politicians come out in support of this at all.
So far, what would you say some of the strong and weak points of this movement are?
I think the biggest strength is the diversity of people's beliefs represented here. People from all sorts of political ideologies come together with a common purpose, and I think it's going to make this a very strong movement, is having that much unity here. But so far, I haven't seen any major weaknesses or problems with this.
Great. All right. So, what kind of roles or duties should Marxist and progressive radical forces have in this movement?
I think the best thing that we can do is try to teach people, teach voters, teach liberal reformists that the system isn't going to be reformed. It needs to be overthrown entirely. Every time capitalism's been reformed, it's come out stronger, and I think it's the most important thing that we can do here.
Great. So thanks again for the opportunity to do this interview. In hope of solidarity amongst all revolutionary forces of the world, at the end, do you have any special message for our viewers?
I'd like everyone to know that resistance is never futile. It's fighting back at every opportunity is important. It matters every step of the way. You can't give up just even when things look bad, with the winter coming here or increasing violent repression from the police like what happened in Oakland. But we can't give up. We have to be here. We have to be doing something. Every step of the way is going to be hard. We're going to trip and stumble, but we're going to get up, we're going to scrape the dirt out of our knees, and we're going to keep fighting because it must be done. If we don't do it, nobody will. Whether it's the Ayatollahs in Iran or the racist police here in New York, people need to stand up and fight back against oppression and against that kind of authority. Around the world, it's been starting the last couple of years. When the riots first broke out in Greece, no one thought it would amount to much. Now Greece is on the verge of a revolution. Here in New York, I don't know if this is going to be the start of the next American Revolution, but it could be. It's very much worth fighting for. I want to see people from around the world out here coming out to support this. Everyone knows that something is wrong. Most people don't know what it is yet, but that's why I'm here, I guess. I'm here to help wake people up and let them know that a better world is
as possible, that we can write our own future.